only on MLB Network.
All right, Hot Stove continues leading the league. We bring back in our friend from the New York Post, Joel Sherman, right now to talk. First up, foremost.
Still didn't give you a proper,
Well, at least I mentioned it on paper this time. Yeah, I mean, something. We'll work on it. Both Carlos Correa and Byron Buxton, Joel, as you saw, homering that spring finale for the Twins. How critical are these guys going to be for Minnesota?
Yeah, I'll use adjectives in front of their names if you'd like. And I'm the wonderful Byron Buxton, the terrific Carlos Correa.
That's good.
Look, the Twins finished last. They were among the most disappointing teams in the sport last year when they finished last in the AL Central. Their pitching is still the question, especially their starting pitching. But you know what helps starting pitching? Superb defense and excellent offense. And they get that. They didn't have Correa last year, 3-year, $105 million contract. They gave a 7-year, $100 million extension to Byron Buxton. And look, if I were wishing for things at the beginning of the 2022 season, I would love to see Byron Buxton play 150 games. Just think about it. It's only spring training, I know. 12 games, 5 homers. He hit .469. In 61 actual Major League regular season games last year, he had 19 homers and had over 1,000 OPS. He's one of our better base runners. He's one of our better defenders. 300 combined games from Correa and Buxton. Where do I sign up for that to just see what it looks like?
No, that'd be beautiful. And the other thing, Joel, you touched on was defense. And real quick, I'll throw this in, and then you can go to your next topic. But with Buxton in center and Correa and Polanco up the middle, cutting off double plays, balls in the gap, keeping the double play in order, that makes your pitching staff better. And if they can execute that, because that's one of Correa's biggest strengths is throwing guys out on relay.
What about Gary behind the plate? Any concerns there? Gary Sanchez?
Well, yeah, there's concern.
Yeah.
If you look at what happened in New York, there's concern. But hopefully,
he hits 30 home runs and.
Well, hopefully he catches better too. I think that he did a lot of overthinking in New York.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got there?
Yeah, Mets pitching right now, Joel. As I told you, I watched High Anxiety last night, the classic Mel Brooks film. Right now, a lot of Mets films right now are singing High Anxiety. They're stressed about this pitching, especially the latest with Taijuan Walker.
Yeah, as usual, you watched the wrong show, Adnan. You should have watched Survivor, because I don't know who's pitching in this rotation. 10 days ago, we would have said, is this the best rotation? DeGrom comes down with a shoulder thing. He's out for probably 2 months here, maybe more. We'll see. Scherzer's hamstring. He threw a bullpen yesterday. He still thinks he's good for Friday. By the way, the Mets regular season starts Thursday. That was supposed to be DeGrom's outing. It probably will be Tyler McGill if weather doesn't knock it out, and a bullpen game. And Taijuan Walker had surgery on his knee in the offseason, the right knee, I believe. And he came out of the game after not pitching very well, saying that it's still a problem. Carlos Carrasco hardly pitched last year because of injury. You always have to worry with workload and age on him as well. And boy, are they lucky that they acquired Chris Bassett. And this is why they were talking with San Diego about taking on about half of Eric Hosmer's $59 million left to get access to 2 more pitchers, including Chris Paddock. They didn't do that deal. They didn't think it was worth it. But they'll keep their eye out on pitching all year because, as we said in our first segment, this is going to be a meat grinder on pitching this year off of a 3.5-week spring training. And this is no way to start before you throw even inning 1.
Gee whiz.
How many starts they get out of DeGrom? 15? Tops?
I say 20.
Wow. Okay.
I'm stretching it.
Well, I'll say this, Adnan. I think they'd sign. If you told them 15 healthy, and if they're good enough to make the playoffs, they're both Scherzer and DeGrom are going. Where did the Mets sign up for that today with expanded playoffs with 6 teams in it instead of 5 this year? They'll take their shot. Remember, DeGrom did not pitch after July 7th last year because of elbow problems. So we're now talking about shoulder. They sign up for 45 combined starts from those guys right now.
All right, Astros agreed. When it comes to contract extensions, we keep saying this is the time. Well, for Alex Presley, it's now or never. And they got the deal done with Presley. What are the details there?
Yeah, Ryan Presley and the Astros, 2-year, $30 million. There's a vesting option that can make it worth 3 at $42 million. It sneaks up on you, but Presley's been one of the best relief pitchers in the sport over the last 4 years. He's in the top as far as games. He's in the top 8 in things like ERA, strikeouts for 9 innings, WAR. You could see here, and the Astros clearly wanted to extend this with him. The average is $15 million a year. That's I think that's tied for the 8th highest annual value ever for a relief
contract,
pitcher,
man.
For a relief pitcher. By the way, let's play it forward. This takes Presley out of the free agent market in next off season. 3 guys who make $16 million this year are among the best relief pitchers ever. Chapman, Kimbrel, Jansen, they're free. Edwin Diaz free at the end of the season. Does Zach Britton come back and pitch well enough? Does a setup guy, Taylor Rogers, Seth Lugo, Chad Green, do they kind of blow up a little bit this year? So we take Presley out, and now we see the long season. Who from this group is going to be the free agent relief pitcher that everybody wants to get their hands on?
Can we put that board back up real quick, guys? You know, Joe, I'm looking at these ages, 35, 29, 35. Where has the time gone? So we're waiting for the next group to come in because, man, those guys got to age 35 real quick. It's surprising.
Yeah, and if you look, Harold, those guys, Chapman, Jansen, Kimbrel, they all came up the same year, all obviously the same age, all making the same amount of money this year. And if you go look, their careers are very, very similar. Games, saves, strikeouts per 9. So it's a little bit of who's going to end up having the best career out of that and maybe putting themselves in a conversation for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Wow.
The scintillating and spectacular Joel Sherman.
Bring it down. Now, my last segment of the year on Hot Stove, I finally got an adjective. Thank you, my friend.
Great job there, buddy.
Great year, Joel.
The man.
Enjoy the season. It's my life. This is Tim Kirchin.
Yeah, right out of the gate.
That's not a mystery.
Look at Timmy.
Come on, that's the Hall of Fame Tim Kirchin.
Well, we did hit in the cage all the time. Of course, I'm in the 55-mile-an-hour cage trying to barrel 1 in 10. Harold, who's retired, walks out of a show, goes down the street. He goes into 85 and hits line drives all over the place. So let's be clear, who was better in the cage, me or Harold?
Hey, I tell you what, I tell that, though, Tim, it was so fun to do that. But it's a different era. Tim, Peter Gammons, all these guys went on the field during regular Major League batting practice. Shag, through BP, all that. Yeah. Tim, go ahead. You can talk on that. I'm going to ask you how important that was.
Well, I only did that one time, and it was at the Kingdome where Harold used to be a star player. And I was invited to take early batting practice. I didn't take batting, but I was invited to run around the field with the team at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I stood even with third base during early batting practice when Larry Parrish took batting practice. We all remember how hard LP used to hit the ball. He whistled one past my ear, and I played in high school. He whistled one past my ear. I said, if that had hit me, it would have killed me. It was a completely different game than I had played in high school. So it was a great learning experience for a 5'4", 130-pound guy that if you want to stand even with third on turf with Larry Parrish at the plate, good luck.
I love it. Hey, Tim, you're broadcasting games now. You're doing a lot of different things as well. When you look back when you first started writing, would you have ever imagined Verducci, yourself, different guys in a booth broadcasting games? And how much has that changed?
No, I had no idea that would ever happen. When I first started writing, I just wanted to own a TV someday rather than be on it, okay? and then when I did make the switch, you know, I've remained a writer my whole life, but when I made the switch in '98 to go to ESPN, my friends looked at me when I would show up in a 3-piece suit, you know, and they looked at me like I was a traitor. Like, what are you doing going to the dark side, which was the broadcast side? Now, every writer has his own radio show, podcast, something. So it's all good now. It just was a different thing when I made the switch in '98.
We're showing some pics, Tim, when you and I got to call games together. Of course, our good friend Eddie Perez, the Tom shirt, of course, in the Levitard show. How about the time, though, we're at the All-Star game, and you got to meet your favorite musician, Pitbull. Tell that story.
Well, of course, Adnan, the most mischievous man in the world, was all about this. I'm standing on the field at the All-Star game, and there's Pitbull. Of course, I have no idea who he is. So Adnan goes up to him and whispers to him, see that guy over there? He's your biggest fan. So Pitbull comes over and says, I understand you're my biggest fan. Well, I have no idea what to do. Thank God he didn't ask me to give me one of his favorite songs because I didn't know any of them. they had 305 written on the back. He was Mr. 305. What does that mean? I don't even understand. It was so bad. And then the Levitard show brought me on the air like the next day. And they gave me some lyrics in Spanish from Pitbull songs. Like, I was supposed to understand that. I don't even speak Spanish. And then they read the lyrics in English, and I didn't understand them either. It was so bad.
Tim, where are you, first of all?
He's
You
at
got
the
people
airport.
walking all by
Yeah,
you.
he's doing this for us. He's going to take a flight soon, but Tim is at the airport doing this just for us.
Right. Well, the good thing is Terminal C of the airport is located in my basement. That's how much I travel. So all I have to do is walk downstairs. Actually, it was a miracle I got to this thing at 9:45. I was on a bus with 400 other people. I was literally standing on my head just to get room, and I raced through security. Thank God I have the clear, and here I am with you guys. What a life I carved out for myself here. It's ridiculous.
Hey, Tim, before you catch this flight, I have to throw this in. I know Admin wants to touch it in a minute here, but Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Congratulations. Has it sunk in yet? And is the speech ready?
Well, I've kind of written the speech. Of course, it's 49 minutes long, and it has to get down to 10 minutes. Thanks very much for that. 42 years covering the game, I get 10 minutes. I have a written speech. I'm scared to death. I'm okay in front of people, but this is a different situation. I start trembling at the thought of even speaking at Cooperstown, but I'll figure it out. And no, it really hasn't sunk in yet. But as I told you guys, all kidding aside, Johnny Bench called me the day after I won the award. He said, "Congratulations, you're one of us."